Some call it Allah hopping, we call it duck in the rain. You heard about so-and-so, heard he got cuffed in the tank. I was trying to mind my business, but I still heard about it. Wrong place, wrong time, heard he got murdered by it. And he means necessary, I'm something like Malcolm X. My bread is very necessary, you know I'm all about my checks. Homie came home from feds, they got him on house arrest.
All right, we at track 8. Track 8, The Light. Now I'm gonna tell y'all from a listener going through this album.
Right.
When I got here, I said, man, we just hit the high explosives.
Right.
We knew we took the victory. Now we enjoying the spoils of war. Right? Now y'all just correct me if I'm wrong.
Right, now you're right.
Right? I'm coming through. I went through the dark hour.
Right.
Went through the battle. And now I'm seeing the light. I'm seeing what's on the other side of the submittance to this great jihad, this great war, this great battle that I overcame. I listened to this top of the album where the minister level set us and told us, stop walking by your brother that's struggling. And brother, I learned what I was fighting against and what I was supposed to be submitting to. I come through the war, the album, and then I come to this track, number 8.
We could sit here and lie to you and tell you that record was incomplete for a while. And the reason I say that is we couldn't find the right connector for the hook. Like something that would bring the whole song together. You know what I mean? Like big shouts to my homeboy Angel Hill who's on the hook.
Super shout out to Angel.
What he did on that hook was he tied it together, because before you had a song where it had a Jim Jones verse and IBorn verse, but there needed to be something to tie the two together to make it make sense as to why these two guys are on the same record together.
Right.
And Angel did that with The Light. It's almost like, who can't understand that? You know what I mean? Like in some sense of the word, we're all kind of running towards the light or trying to.
Right.
You know, so I think that hook, again, for multiple reasons, because it showed a common ground between Jim Jones and IBorn, which from the outside looking in is hard to make that connection because they live two totally different lifestyles. But that hook embodied, it's almost a perfect hook for that song.
It is.
Because we're all in search of the light. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter who's on that record together. We're all in search of the light. And their verses match that, obviously, but I think that hook was the deciding factor as to what that song turned into.
Got you.
So, you know, I wouldn't sit here and paint the picture for you like me and IBorn had it figured out.
Right.
He had ideas of people he wanted to put on the hook. Ultimately, it boiled down to Angel because, again, it was like divine intervention. He was around at the right time when we needed that hook. He hit the bullseye right in the, you know what I mean? Like he did the right thing on that record. Anything less, anything more would have been overkill. Anything less would have been like, it was perfect. So, you know, when I remember I first sent it to IBorn, I think you listened to it on your phone or something. I said, yo, because he called me back. He was like,
Yo, man, my wife,
he was kind of unsure. And I'm like, I said, yo, Born, did you listen to this on your phone?
He was like, yo, you bugging?
Yeah, I said,
you listen to this on your phone?
Austin's thing is always like, yo, you bugging.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he said.
He said, I don't know. I said, yo, Born, you bugging, man. Because in my head, it's like, I know he didn't listen to this on anything but his phone. And if you listen to it on the phone, you won't get the full feel of what that, you know what I mean, what it is.
Now, it was the hook that you listened to on your phone? Or
Yeah, because the song was already done before that.
Okay.
Right, we just never had the hook.
Got it.
So when he sent the hook, I'm sitting like this. Me and my wife was looking at each other. I'm like, I hear, yo, you bugging. So I put it into the system, and I'm like, nah.
And then he called me back.
I said, yo, this joint's crazy. But yeah, this song is a deep song because I never forget that night. I met Jim on 135th and 5th, and we were talking. My man Kev Ross was there, and he's like, yo, what's up? Let's go in the studio now. I said, nah, man, I think Savvy Day was in Chicago. I said, I got to go to Chicago. So now, 3 o'clock, I wake up. He texts me. He's still up. It's 3 o'clock. He said, yo, you never sent me the beat. I sent him the beat, which I thought all sent it to him. I get to Savior's Day. I get to Chicago. As soon as I get to the hotel 11 o'clock, he sends me the verse.
Wow.
Just like that.
Wow.
Yo,
man.
so Jim's work ethic is insane. Like he's a late night guy for real.
Wow.
Like for real.
And what was it? So when, like, I know this, you said it was incomplete for a minute.
Yeah.
But what was the inspiration behind the song, like overall in the inception, right? Like, did you already know you wanted to connect
It
with
was
Jim?
just a fly song, man. Like, I'm not gonna try to paint a different picture to it. It was just a fly song that was needed for the album. You know what I mean? Like, it was just needed.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a bunch of like intricate, super thought behind it. Like, you know what? We need to make a record that it was kind of like, you know what? This record feels good. He wanted Jim on the record. That record sounded like it would sound the best with Jim on there. Born did his verse. And then, like I said, for the longest, we were like, how do we tie this together? Who do we get to put on this hook? And we gave it a lot of thought. That part of it had a lot of thought behind it.
That was a hard part right there.
Right.
Yeah. I would have an artist and I say, oh, what you think about this? It's like, nah. His thing to me was just let it be. He said it's gonna happen. And you know me, I'm sitting there like, I'm like, yo, what's
I gotta
going
make it happen.
I
gotta force it.
Yo, what about
What
this
was
person
happening
and that
was
person?
That was because I know we said before Executive Council was the last record we did, but that was one of the last records we were trying to complete.
Like finalized.
Yes.
Yeah, because Executive Council got completed rather fast, but it was the last record that we did. But that record, it was like lingering around. The project was damn near done, and that record was just lingering. I was like, we got to finish this. How do we finish this? And it all.
You know
came
what
together.
I love about this track between you and Jim's, the commonality, because I've been blessed to been on this City Fest stage with y'all too.
Right.
And there's a certain, and I just seen Jim in Fashion Week last week, and the fly, like style wise.
Nah, Jimmy's different.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jim is a fashion icon. He's just a fly dude. You see Jim, the way Jim walk, he just walk. You could tell he was the cool kid in school. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? And he just always have carried that level of confidence.
Right.
But to me, when I listen to it, I'm looking at the bezel, you on the wrist, we jumping out the double R, like we fly right now.
And that's necessary because, like I told Born before, there's a misconception that people of the Nation of Islam, like, they don't worry about getting fly or wearing this or wearing that. This record taught me, like, wait a minute, okay. Like, Born giving it up. That's what he's talking about, you know what I mean? And I respect that because, again, that's needed on the album.
Right.
We got to show that side of him.
Right.
Because that's part of his life also. You know what I'm saying? So, again, this record is necessary for multiple reasons.
And that's my boy Ash, that's behind the camera, said that to me as we driving over. And we were watching Executive Council video. He said, man, Ty, he said to see the balance between the bros. He said, we see the bros in the suits.
Right.
He said, we see that version. He said, but to see the other side.
Right.
To see that they like this too, they do this too. He said, that's the difference that the world hasn't seen. He said, so you all have the ability to facilitate this with your projects.
Absolutely.
But we had to let them understand the important side first.
Right.
Before we start showing them so that's why we set up, and this record is number 8.
Right.
Because it's like, all right, cool, we got here, let me show you that, but then don't be distracted. This is the important stuff.
Right.
But we let into
put
this.
that up
Cool,
front.
This is us too.
Right.
But this is, you understand?
Right.
This is the mission right here. This is a section of a portion of how I move and how I behave, but this is really 90% of my 80% of my life is this.
Core
you know
foundation.
what I'm saying? Right.
Excellent.
So it was necessary.
You know, the bezel flashed like lightning.
Come on.
I met at Uptown on Dykeman Heights. You know, shout out to rest in peace, man. Allah be pleased with the beloved Black Rob.
Black Rob, man.
Yeah, big shout out to Black Rob.
Man, God be pleased with him, man. So that's track 8, The Light.
Yes.
The Light. Beautiful.
We get into the closer.
My young boy, he on demon time. He moving different. Told him take it easy, like I'm taking mine. Look how I came through with that bucket on tilt. Louis Vuitton, aviators.